On Friday, we promised you that these fields behind me were chock full of history. Well, I'm pleased to tell you that that promise has been fulfilled. As day one began, hopes were high, but none of us predicted such an extraordinary start. The discovery of a large fragment of Roman lead.
Yeah, I'll get the arches over now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
The most likely place where you'd get lead is a coffin.
And you hear the echo, it's hollow.
I'm excited.
Ah, so I did a good find for you, Peter. Yeah? Okay.
And there was more. Close to the coffin, another revelation. Peter, why are you brushing boulders?
Well, this is a really exciting find. This is actually typical of the Romano-British structures in this area,
right,
where they're building timber post buildings on levelled-in padstones.
So are these are structural? This is from a builder?
That's right. This will give more detail to the settlement structure, which is what we're investigating.
An investigation that had already yielded more than 200 objects in just one day. Next day, would other parts of the site prove equally fruitful? What you got?
Pistol shot ball.
Yes, lovely. So, quite small, so it's not from a musket.
Civil War. It's very round though. It obviously hasn't hit anything.
No. Well, unless it passed right through something.
Well, that's true. That's true.
There'd be people hunting here, obviously, but you've got to think, this close to the castle.
Absolutely.
You've got to think that maybe that was fired in anger during the English Civil War.
Absolutely.
And the finds kept coming. Oh, wow! What is that?
It's like a buckle plate to me.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's lovely. What period do you think?
No idea.
Isn't it good? You don't know what it is, but it's still exciting.
Yeah, it's great.
Archaeologist David Connolly had also tracked down something special.
A denarii?
Yeah.
Oh, let's have a look. Oh, wow. That's a Julia Domina, isn't it?
Julia Domina, yeah, 2nd century, I think.
Perfect. You can make out her hairstyle.
I know, yeah.
That is gorgeous.
But not everyone was quite so lucky.
Got it.
What we got?
1p. Hello, it's 1p.
1988.
1988.
With the project coming to an end, and with the finds drying up, it was time for me to get wet. So did you start as a dry land mammal and then evolve to this?
I did, yeah. You can plenty of places in the winter to actually detect, but we had nowhere in the summer when the crops came up, so water's there all year round, so we used to pop in and find stuff in this. Yeah, I haven't found anything here today, but that's some nice bits and pieces to show you. That's a 1st century Roman brooch.
So 1900, nearly 2,000 years old, and look at it.
Yeah.
It doesn't look real. It does look like...
Yeah. Well, I get accused of making them.
I'm not surprised. In just a few days, the survey uncovered hundreds of finds, including the remains of Roman buildings.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. And what may prove to be an ancient grave.
Neil, just first of all, this lead-lined coffin. Was it?
It's almost certainly not a burial. The enigmatic point is that the lead remains mysterious. The stones in the bottom are almost certainly part of a Roman building, possibly a Roman floor. But the Romans in Britain at that time weren't using lead on roofs, for example. Okay. So the fact that lead has found its way in there is mysterious. It is punched with holes. It's been a lead lining, presumably within a wooden box.
But it wasn't pinched off somebody's roof in Plymouth 3 weeks ago or something. It goes back further than that.
It goes back to the Roman period, but how it's ended up in those precise circumstances remains mysterious. But that will probably be cleared up by full-scale excavation.
Okay, but we did come across a few interesting pieces. What sort of stands out for you then?
I know you feel underwhelmed by these small pieces. You do.
No,
but
I don't.
The point is that there's 4,500 years of British history there. That flint tool there was probably in use around the time when the finishing touches were being put to
Get a
Stonehenge.
close-up on that, the flint tool, yeah? Can we get a
You know,
close-up
I
of
mean,
that?
this is late Neolithic, early Bronze Age.
Yeah.
So it goes back that far. Then it comes up through, for example, this is all Roman material.
Yeah.
The coin here, this is Iron Age, and it's been bent deliberately to show that it was no longer legal currency because this was a gift for the gods. So this has ceased being for mortals.
There's that pipe there as well.
The pipe, well, these are very common. In 18th century, perhaps, ploughmen would be smoking, and as these things were broken, which they very easily were because they're just clay, they would be just thrown aside. This coin is Roman, and it bears a tiny illustration of a guardhouse, a gatehouse. So even on their coins, the Romans were stamping their authority.
It's a little musket ball then. I've always wondered what a musket ball looked like. You wouldn't like one of those in your temple, would
Do
you?
you know that when these were fired, when they come out the barrel of the gun, they're almost molten. So when they hit something, they're soft and they splatter. This may have been fired during the siege of Corfe Castle in the English Civil War. So there's a massive range of material.
Brilliant, Neil. Thanks very much for that. Earlier